As you well know, President Obama's economic program has had mixed results, but would Republicans do any better? Well, Lizzie O'Leary has a guest with her in Sterling, Virginia this morning to make the case for the GOP. Lizzie.
Thanks so much, Betty. I'm with Mike Pence, House Republican Conference Chairman, and let's talk about this pledge to America, sort of a modified contract with America. People are talking about it that way. I want to start with one of the planks here, though, is extending all of the Bush tax cuts, making them permanent. Since you put this in the pledge, does that imply that you all think you won't get some sort of deal in this legislative session?
Well, it's obviously it's the top of the list on our plan to get the economy moving again right now. We address spending discipline, government reform, national security. But we just thought in addition to additional business deductions and others, getting rid of the 1099 problem, there would be almost nothing more important that Congress could do right now to get this economy moving in than to make sure that no American in the city or on the farm faces a tax increase in January of 2011. And, Libby, it really highlights the point that this pledge to America is not about the next Congress. It's about this Congress. In a few minutes, we'll be calling on Speaker Pelosi.
So you think you can get this deal in this Congress?
Well, look, I think the American people can get a deal out of their Congress any day of the week once they decide on what they want their Congress to do. We're going to call on Speaker Pelosi and Harry Reid in the Senate to bring all of these proposals to the floor for an up or down vote before this Congress adjourns, including extending all the current tax relief.
Well, one of the other things that you all talk about in this document is deficit reduction. How do you square the tax cut extension with deficit reduction?
Well, look, there's no question that we have serious challenges facing our country from the standpoint of fiscal solvency. In this pledge to America, we commit ourselves to put our nation on a pathway toward a balanced budget by cutting spending back down to 2008 levels, by rescinding and repealing what remains of the stimulus, by repealing Obamacare. But those all represent really just a good start. We all understand that if Republicans are awarded the opportunity to lead the Congress again, we're going to have to put everything on the table to put our fiscal house in order. But in addition to fiscal discipline, we have to have a growing economy. And preserving tax relief, promoting additional tax relief like the 20% business deduction that we're calling for in the Pledge to America are going to be part and parcel of a plan to get spending under control while we get the economy moving again.
When you look back at the contract with America, 9 of those planks went through the House, but they all languished in the Senate. So what kind of assurance could you give Americans that this plan that you're putting forward has any legs to it, particularly when you look at polling right now that says you guys have a pretty good shot at retaking the House, but the Senate's a different matter? Right.
Well, let me say, I think as people go to pledge.gop.gov and take a look at the Pledge to America in the long form and the short form, they're going to see these are very specific proposals that what we wanted to do was say, let's describe a good start. Let's describe things that we could do in this Congress that really would set us on a pathway toward fiscal discipline, growth, and reform. So it's not the long-term platitudes and commitments of the past. These are very specific proposals that we believe, if passed, would take our national government in the direction the American people want it to go.
All right, Congressman Pence, thank you so much. Betty, I'm going to send it back to you in New York.